everyone, it's Sarah and welcome to my crochet channel. Today's video I'm going to show you how to make a super easy coffee or cup koozie. They work perfect for your hot coffee cups or for your cold ice coffee cups, or maybe just a slushie. It's a super easy pattern, just single crochets and double crochets with a little bit of increasing. And I do recommend that you make them out of cotton yarn. Acrylic is fine if you're just going to use it to keep your hands from burning on a hot cup. But if you're going to use it for a cup that's going to sweat, make sure you have a cotton or a cotton blend so it can absorb that moisture. Now this is a free crochet pattern on my blog, and you can find that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. If you're looking for the paw print or the dog bone applique, you can find those videos in my playlist as well as in the notes underneath this video. What you need to make the coffee or iced tea cozy is 2 different colors of cotton yarn. Now you can make this out of medium weight number 4 acrylic if you want to. Just keep in mind that if you're going to use it for iced tea or iced coffee, it will not absorb the sweat the way that cotton will. And so I really prefer to make mine out of cotton. I'm going to be using this cotton blend by Lion brand that I had left over from making another project as the thicker stripes. And then I'm going to use just an off-white for the thinner stripes. You're also going to need, just if you want to make the dog paw print, or that could be a cat print as well, or maybe the dog bone, whatever colors you want to make those in, just some different scrap yarn to use. We're going to be using our H-hook today for the coffee cozy. It's a 5.00 millimeter crochet hook. You'll also need a needle for weaving in your ends, and if you need to sew on an applique. And then of course you'll need your scissors. We're going to be starting at the bottom of our cozy and then working our way up, and we'll do a little bit of increasing as we go. It's basically single crochet stitches and double crochet stitches, so it's super easy. We're going to begin with our cream because we're using the cream for our single crochet rows. We're going to begin with a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 26 chains. I've chained 26, and now I'm going to join this into a circle, being careful not to twist my chain. I'll put my hook right in that first chain and slip stitch. So I'll pull that loop through the loop, and then I'll pull that loop through the loop that's already on my hook, and we'll just make a little chain 1 to get us to the top. And now what we're going to do is we're going to stitch 1 single crochet in each of those chains. Go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, and go through both loops. 1 single crochet in each of the chains around, and so we'll end up with 26 single crochets. The chain 1 that we did at the beginning of this row to get us on top of our chain does not count as a stitch. One single crochet in each of the chains around, and then we're going to join to that first single crochet. I've placed one single crochet in each of the chains around, and I made sure that I have 26 single crochets. Sometimes when you're stitching in the chain, you can get off by one count more or less, and so just be real careful not to twist your chain and to make sure that you have 26 single crochets. We're not going to go in the chain one. We're going to join to the first single crochet. And the reason we're doing that is if we were to go into the chain one to join, we would be adding an extra stitch, and we don't want to do that. So I'm in the chain one, I'm going to join with a slip stitch, and I'm not going to chain one because we're going to bring in our second color. We're going to be alternating striping up the side of our cozy. All right, so I'm going to bring in my new color, and I'm going to leave my cream color attached, and I'm going to chain 3. All right, now this chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, and then we're going to place one double crochet in each of those single crochets around, and so then we should have 26 double crochets. Yarn over, go in the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, and go through the second 2. I'm going to continue stitching one double crochet in each of my single crochets around, and then I'll join to the chain 3. I've completed stitching one double crochet in each of the single crochets around. I'm going to join to the top of my chain 3 with a slip stitch. And now I'm going to bring back in my cream yarn because we're striping every other one, and we'll not be cutting our yarn. What we're going to do is called bringing it across or bringing it up. We'll leave each color attached as we switch back and forth and trail our yarn on the inside of our cozy. All right, so we're going to leave color 2 attached, and we're going to go back to using color 1. We're going to go right in that first double crochet and stitch a single crochet, and then we'll stitch a single crochet in the next 9 stitches. So we'll have 10 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then in the next stitch, we're going to stitch 2 single crochets right in the same stitch. And that's going to help us increase by 1. Then we're going to stitch 1 single crochet in the next 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 10. And now we're going to do that again. We're going to place 2 double crochets in the next stitch. All right, now we're just going to place 1 double crochet in these, or not double, one single crochet. This row is all single crochets. Just to clarify, we did 10 single crochets and then 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then 10 single crochets and 2 single crochets in the same stitch. And now we're going to place 1 single crochet in these last 4 stitches. All right, we're going to join to the first single crochet and then bring back in our double crochet color or color 2 that we're using for our row of double crochets. And so we had 26 single crochets and 26 double crochets. We increased by 2, correct? So now we have 28 single crochets, and we're not going to increase on our double crochet row. We're just going to stitch 1 double crochet in each of the single crochets around. And again, our chain 3 counts as our first, so we'll go in the next and we'll stitch 1 double crochet in each of the single crochets around. And as this pattern works, we'll only be increasing on our single crochet rows, not our double crochets. And we want this to sort of flare out so that it fits the shape of a coffee cup or a drink cup. All right, so I'm stitching 1 double crochet in each of the single crochets around, and I'll have 28 double crochets. I've completed those 28 double crochets, joined to the top of my chain 3, and now I'm going to bring back in my cream yarn, snug that down, and again you can see where I'm trailing that yarn up the inside of my koozie or cozy. We'll go right in that next stitch right there and stitch a single crochet. And we're going to do again what we did on this row. We're going to stitch 10 single crochets. So there's 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, and 10. And then the next stitch, we're going to stitch 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. And then we'll do 10 single crochets again. There's 5. Then we'll do 5 more for 10. And then we'll do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And that's going to leave us 6 single crochets. And we'll just place 1 single crochet in those 6 single crochets. Or 6 double crochets. We're placing 6 single crochets in those 6 double crochets. All right, now we're going to join to the first single crochet. Then we'll bring back in our double crochet color or color 2, and we'll stitch a row of double crochets in that row of single crochets. The row of single crochets now is 30 because we added 2 stitches, And so now we're going to stitch 1 double crochet in each of the single crochets around, and we'll have 30 double crochets. And remember, the chain 3 on the double crochet row counts as your first double crochet. 1 double crochet in each of the single crochets around. I completed that row of double crochets. I joined to the chain 3 and I brought in my cream yarn. And we're going to repeat one more time what we did on these 2 rows. On the single crochet row, we'll do 10 single crochets, then the next stitch we'll do 2. We'll do 10 single crochets, then the next stitch we'll do 2, and then we'll finish off with 8 single crochets. We'll join to our first single crochet, then we'll change back to our double crochet color or color 2, and we'll do another row of double crochet. Just like we did here, only we're going to have 2 more stitches because we're going to increase by 2 more. So we began with 26, then we went to 28, then we went to 30, and the next 2 rows will have 32 stitches. I completed those last 2 rows, single crochet, double crochet, and at this point, again, we should be at 32 for these 2 rows, and we're not going to do any more increasing. I've gone ahead and cut my color 2 yarn. We'll weave that in later. And we're going to finish the last 2 rows using our cream color or our color 1. So what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 single crochet in each of the double crochets around. We're not doing any more increasing, so the stitch count will remain the same. 1 single crochet in each of the double crochets around. And we'll work all the way around this row and join back to our single crochet that we started. I completed that row, stitching 1 single crochet in each single crochet around. I joined to my first single crochet, and I'm going to go ahead and make a chain 1, and then I'm going to single crochet again in each stitch around, and this just gives us a nice trim at the top of our cozy. So 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets around, then we'll join to that first single crochet and we'll tie off. I completed that second row of single crochet, working all the way around. We'll join to the single crochet with a slip stitch, and then we'll just cut that yarn. I'm going to go in the next stitch and pull that loop to the inside. There we go. And you can see on the inside that we have where we carried that yarn up, and it's much neater than cutting our yarn every time. Now we'll come back in and weave this in with our needle, but I'm just going to put that in there like that for now. And here is our coffee cover, coffee koozie, coffee cozy, whatever you want to call it. And you can use the dog bone. And if you want this pattern, just click that link that's at the top there where that arrow is, and it'll take you right to the video of how to make the dog bone. And you can also use the paw print, which can be a kitty cat print. This would be great for a school that has like a cougars or a tigers as your mascot. You can make it in school colors and make the paw print, and that would be a lot of fun as well. So there's a couple of options there for you.